This spring, as we mark 250 years of the American story, the National Endowment for the Arts honors the poetic voices that shaped our history, and the voices shaping what comes next. From classrooms to center stage, the nation's most powerful young performers rise, bringing timeless poems to life, celebrating creativity, community, and our shared history. Join the National Endowment for the Arts Poetry Out Loud National Recitation Contest, featuring high school students from across the country, and $50,000 in awards and stipends. Find out who will be named the 2026 Poetry Out Loud National Champion. Experience it live April 28th and 29th at Listener Auditorium in Washington, D.C., or stream online at arts.gov.
Good evening, everyone. Let's give a round of applause for our fantastic DJ, DJ Stylus. And now, please join me in welcoming our 2026 Poetry Out Loud State Champions.
Representing Alabama, R.V. Shaw.
Representing Alaska, Cassie Lumba.
Representing American Samoa, Johnson Ailima.
Representing Arizona, Liam McLaughlin.
Representing Arkansas, Lillian Baker.
Representing California, Lillian Brawley.
Representing Colorado, D.B. Henderson.
Representing Connecticut, Emma Frisbee.
Representing Delaware, Natalia Gaddy.
Representing the District of Columbia, Nyla Dinkins.
Representing Florida, Esana Magama.
Representing Georgia, Rory Berg.
Representing Guam, Brielle Brandon.
Representing Hawaii, Kai Gamarino.
Representing Idaho, Monroe Williams.
Representing Illinois, Jaden Conley.
Representing Indiana, Jayda Dawn.
Representing Iowa, Emma Olson.
Representing Kansas, Miriam Montara.
Representing Kentucky, Bella Sloan.
Representing Louisiana, Mallory Lott.
Representing Maine, Megan Rivard.
Representing Maryland, Bella Romero.
Representing Massachusetts, Naya Cow.
Representing Michigan, Eliza Aldridge.
Representing Minnesota, Sophia Scusa Rivera.
Representing Mississippi, Elijah Earls.
Representing Missouri, Salvador Gonzalez.
Representing Montana, Alette Whitcomb.
Representing Nebraska, Madriana Tali.
Representing Nevada, Mari Basaka.
Representing New Hampshire, Summerlin Brackett.
Representing New Jersey, Joy Ogunsakin.
Representing New Mexico, Hadas Frish.
Representing North Carolina, Kalia McCaw.
Representing North Dakota, Aspen Geist.
Representing Ohio, Sarah Sadu.
Representing Oklahoma, Sarah Wheatley.
Representing Oregon, Emma Keene.
Representing Pennsylvania, Zariel Banton.
Representing Puerto Rico, David De Aguilar.
Representing Rhode Island, Astrid Santos.
Representing South Carolina, Oona Borovicka.
Representing South Dakota, Damien Deen.
Representing Tennessee, Sarah Williamson. Representing Texas, Almaz Clausen.
Representing the United States Virgin Islands, Joeltica Rogers.
Representing Utah, James Ware.
Representing Vermont, Easton DeMarsco Thorne.
Representing Virginia, Amelia Rylak.
Representing Washington, Jade Terrace Talamo.
Representing West Virginia, Yulse Polat.
Representing Wisconsin, Riley Grace Sanum.
Representing Wyoming, Dublin Martinson.
These are the 2026 Poetry Out Loud State Champions.
Yes.
Please welcome to the stage our distinguished judges for this evening's competition. 2022 Young People's Poet Laureate and best-selling author, Elizabeth Acevedo. 61st Poet Laureate of Texas and founder of Torch Literary Arts, Amanda Johnston. President of Ashland University and former chairman of the National Endowment for the Humanities, John Parrish Peedy. Award-winning poet and former Louisiana Poet Laureate, Allison Pellegrin. Award-winning poet, writer, and educator, Brian Turner. And now, please welcome National Endowment for the Arts Chairman, Mary Ann Carter. Friends and family, this is also your opportunity to take a photo if you wish. So get all your Instagram posts, snaps, pics for the family newsletter now, because flash photography will not be allowed during tonight's recitations. Let's give the 2026 Poetry Out Loud state champions one more round of applause. Please now join me in welcoming the chairman of the National Endowment for the Arts, Mary Ann Carter.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Poetry Out Loud 2026 National Finals. I want to thank our host, Justine, for being such a wonderful MC, as you will see throughout the evening. She's taking the night off from playing Martha Jefferson in Ford's theater production of 1776, as you heard, and we couldn't be more grateful, especially this year, when Poetry Out Loud is part of the nation's 250th anniversary celebration. This milestone invites us to reflect on the origins of our nation and the role that language and words played in shaping it. The careful construction and powerful oration of words were essential from the very beginning. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Is that not poetry? Tonight, our finalists carry on this living tradition of storytelling and expression, breathing new life into words that have shaped our nation over the past 250 years. Poetry Out Loud has always been one of my favorite programs at the National Endowment for the Arts. It has such a major impact on young people, and that might be why I enjoy it so much. I can't actually see the audience, but if you are attending a National Poetry Out Loud Finals for the first time, give a shout out or give a clap. I want to see. All right. Good, good. The first time I attended a Poetry Out Loud final was in 2017. It was my first tenure at the National Endowment for the Arts. I knew about the program, but I actually had no idea what to expect. When the first finalist walked onto the stage, I could feel a sense of excitement, and also excitement yet some tense moments waving through the audience. When those first words were spoken, I was hooked. In fact, I was blown away. Whenever I talk about Poetry Out Loud, I always talk about that first time that I saw a final, and I always use the term, I was blown away. And it's so funny because I hear other people using that exact same term, Last year at the Poetry Out Loud finals, I was sitting with the chairman of the Poetry Foundation, and we were talking about the first time we had each gone to see a final, and hers had been the year before, and she said, I was so blown away. And I was like, I know, so was I. And just this morning, one of the moms that I met at the breakfast that we were all at up on Capitol Hill, she was telling me she hadn't been familiar with the program and then was reading about it, and she said, I was so blown away. I said, yes, no, I understand, believe me. And so on that first time that I came to a finals, as the finalists continued coming on stage, I wondered, what did it take for them to get here? Did they always love poetry? Did a teacher recommend the program? Was it a classroom assignment? Did they have to get over a fear of talking in front of people? Had they ever tried to interpret a poem before? All of you have a story. And that's what's so interesting for those of us sitting in the audience. What was your story? Of course, we thank the teachers who helped you all along the way, and for the mentors, and of course, all the work teachers do, even beyond Poetry Out Loud. But we all know sitting in a classroom can only do so much. Where education often ends, Poetry Out Loud can take over. Students pour through poems. They read them. They see if any take hold and have meaning to them. And once they find that poem, that one that speaks to them, they begin to learn it. And maybe they learn about the poet. And then they move on to memorizing the poem. And then they begin to interpret it in their own voice. And then they eventually recite it, first probably to their peers, and then to a room full of strangers. No classroom setting is going to ever teach you those skills. And these skills are lifelong skills. As I talked about earlier this morning, these skills will propel students into the future. Speaking before one's peers or a crowd of strangers is not easy, but you will be amazed tonight at the poise and the look of ease that these students will demonstrate. Poetry Out Loud always brings a unique crowd. One of our judges, as you heard, is the former chairman of the National Endowment for the Humanities. He, in fact, was chair of the Humanities the last time I was chair of the Arts. And of course, he's currently a president of a university. There's also a well-known architect in the crowd, who's also the current chairman of the Commission of Fine Arts. I know both of them are going to be blown away tonight. Poetry Out Loud builds confidence in a way few experiences can. It asks students to step in front of an audience, trust their voice, and share something meaningful with others. That kind of confidence is not going to disappear when they leave the stage. It is going to stay with them in the classroom, in their communities, and in whatever path they choose down the road. This night would not be possible without the many individuals and organizations who come together to make this program possible. From the classroom all the way here tonight to the national stage. I would like to extend a thank you to all of our state and jurisdictional partners who are here with us tonight or watching us online. We couldn't do this without you. And remember, you all, the students here, 54 champions out of more than 130,000 students who participated in Poetry Out Loud this year. I'm also incredibly grateful to my wonderful staff at the National Endowment for the Arts. They stepped up to the plate in tremendous ways during a year of a lot of changes and transitions, not only within the agency, but within each program, such as Poetry Out Loud. but we're here tonight, and I'm so grateful to everyone. I'm also so grateful and thankful to our partners at Mid-Atlantic Arts. They're the cooperator agreement who runs a lot of the program for us. Karen Newell, I know you're here tonight. I don't know where you are. And her team, they've been so instrumental in making sure in this transitional year that this program came off as successfully as it did. So thank you. And to all the families, teachers, mentors, parents who have encouraged these champions along the way, you are integral to this process. And we applaud you for the many hours we know you have put in listening to these poems and helping your students along the way. I suspect most of you can probably recite these poems yourself by now. And finally, to our 54 champions, congratulations again. This is an incredible accomplishment. As we've seen over the past 20 years, this is an experience that will stay with you the rest of your life. Enjoy it, savor it. And now, back to Justine. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Marianne. And welcome to everyone here at the George Washington University Listener Auditorium in Washington, D.C., and to those of you tuning in online. What a wonderful night to come together, to celebrate, to listen, to inspire and uplift one another with the power of words. Words carry energy. Words are powerful. Whether it be through poetry, lyrics, books, or speeches, we use words to communicate, to tell stories, to illuminate, to learn and grow, and to spark creativity in our lives. As a young girl, I would always turn to books, poetry, music, film, theater, the arts, to indulge my mind and dive into my imagination. I liked performing, I liked writing, I liked any way I could be exposed to art and to express myself through it. I always loved how words or lyrics had the ability to easily transport you to other places, to take you on adventures, allow you to feel a variety of emotions, to understand different characters, different people, and to see and respect things from different points of view. I learned how to better express myself, how to listen, how to be more understanding, how to observe, and how to have empathy and compassion. All of that just from experiencing the power of words in different art forms. And what's even more amazing is that within all of us, we all have this ability to use words to shape our world. As we are coming up on the 250th anniversary of the signing of the United States Declaration of Independence, we are reminded that this is one of the most famous worded documents that helped shape America's history. It is truly historical evidence of the power and influence of language. For the past few weeks, I have been honored to hear this document's powerful words on stage every night. While playing the role of Martha Jefferson at Ford's Theater's production of 1776, which is running till May 16th, so come visit us, I will say it is always a surreal experience to witness the Second Continental Congress navigate their big responsibilities for the colonies through at times intense and other times humorous scenes written by Peter Stone and the beautiful and smart music and lyrics by Sherman Edwards. Through their art, through their words, whether it be spoken or sung, they bring to life that 1776 Congress who debate, compromise, make decisions, and vote on the Declaration of Independence. On top of that, I would like to take a second to remind us that our founding fathers were also ordinary humans, just like us. They had to navigate their commitments and balance their responsibilities in their regular everyday lives, just like us. Words had power back then. Words have power right now. And just like those who came before us, who used it to shape our history, you all can continue to shape our world with your passion for poetry and language, and your abilities in recitation and words. Remember that every time you create and perform, you are reaching out to many, many others and deeply connecting with one another. So let us shape a whole new generation with your words, with your voices. Let us connect, let us feel, and inspire. Shall we begin? Yesterday, all the state and jurisdictional champions competed in 3 semifinal rounds. The 3 students who scored highest in each semifinal, a total of 9 students, will compete tonight for the national championship, which includes a $20,000 grand prize. There will be 3 rounds of recitation. The students will recite in a predetermined random order, and that order will be honored for all 3 rounds. After the first 2 rounds, we'll have an awards presentation for all of our finalists, and then announce the top 3 contestants. Those 3 students will return to recite 1 more poem each. Those scores will be added to the scores from tonight's first 2 rounds to determine this year's national champion. Contestants will be evaluated on 6 criteria: physical presence, voice and articulation, evidence of understanding, interpretation, overall performance, and accuracy. Overall performance and accuracy are worth more than the other categories. Judges' decisions are final. Our accuracy judge for this evening is Nancy Darty, and our prompter is Diana Mertzger. In order to keep tonight's program on schedule, we ask that you hold your applause until after each recitation ends. With that being said, let's start the first round. Our first contestant, representing Louisiana, Mallory Lott. Mallory is a senior at Covington High School in Covington, Louisiana. Mallory adores musical theater, visual arts, and fashion. Favorite books include The Great Gatsby and The Nightingale. Mallory selected poems that felt personally meaningful and refined their performance with their theater director. Mallory Lott.
Tea at the Palaz of Hoon by Wallace Stevens. Not less because in purple I descended the western day through what you called the loneliest air. Not less was I myself. What was the ointment sprinkled on my beard? What were the hymns that buzzed beside my ears? What was the sea whose tide swept through me there? Out of my mind, the golden ointment rained, and my ears made the blowing hymns they heard. I was myself the compass of that sea. I was the world in which I walked, and what I saw or heard or felt came not but from myself. And there, I found myself more truly and more strange.
Representing Illinois, Jaden Conley. A senior at Niles West High School in Skokie, Illinois, Jaden has practiced for poetry out loud, both at home in front of the mirror and during shifts at Target. Jaden feels privileged to be surrounded by family and friends that also appreciate the arts. Jaden Conley.
Mother to Son by Langston Hughes. Well, son, I'll tell you. Life for me ain't been no crystal stair. It's had tacks in it and splinters and boards torn up and places with no carpet on the floor, bare. But all the time, I've been climbing on and reaching landings and turning corners and sometimes going in the dark where there ain't been no light. So boy, don't you turn back. Don't you sit down on the steps, 'cause you finds it's kinder hard. Don't you fall now. For I's still going, honey. I's still climbing. And life for me ain't been no crystal stair.
Representing New Mexico, Hadas Frish. A sophomore, Hadas attends La Cueva High School in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Hadas is interested in joining the medical field, specifically pediatrics, to hopefully help to save lives one day. Hadas is also interested in advocating for women's rights. Hadas Frish.
Militant to Certain Other Women by Catherine Rolston Fisher. You, who pass coldly by when the police rush upon us, when they wrench away our banners, beautiful banners, whose colors cry a demand for liberty, you, who criticize or condemn, declaring you believe in suffrage, worked for it in your state, and your mother knew Susan B. Anthony, can you think in terms of a nation? Could you die or face ridicule for your belief, for the freedom of women, for your freedom? We are fighting. For your safety, we face danger, bear torture for your honor, endure untellable insult. To win democracy, for you, we defend the banners of democracy, till our banners and our bodies are flung together on the pavement, waiting at the gates of government. We have made of our weariness a symbol of women's long wait for justice. We have borne the hunger and hardship of prison to open people's eyes to men's determination to imprison the power of women. You women who pass coldly by. Do you imagine your freedom is coming as a summer wind blows over fields? Slowly, it has advanced by a 60 years war. Those who have fought in it have not forgotten, and that war is not won. Strongly entrenched, the foe sits plotting. Close to his lines, our banners fly, signaling where to direct the fire. Greater forces are needed, reserves and recruits. Are you for winning or for waiting, women who watch the banners go down? Women who say suffrage is coming while suffrage goes by you into Prussia. Cease to be content with applauding speeches and praising politicians. Patience is shameful. Awake, rise, and act.
Representing Rhode Island, Astrid Santos. Attending senior year at Classical High School in Providence, Rhode Island, Astrid comes from a family rooted in perseverance and discipline. Astrid is passionate about mentoring younger students and supporting leadership in the arts. Astrid Santos.
Aunt Sue's Stories by Langston Hughes. Aunt Sue has a head full of stories. Aunt Sue has a whole heart full of stories. Summer nights on the front porch, Aunt Sue cuddles a brown-faced child to her bosom and tells him stories. Black slaves working in the hot sun, and black slaves walking in the dewy night, and black slaves singing sorrow songs on the banks of a mighty river mingle themselves softly in the flow of old Aunt Sue's voice. Mingle themselves softly in the dark shadows that cross and recross Aunt Sue's stories. And the dark-faced child, listening, knows that Aunt Sue's stories are real stories. He knows that Aunt Sue never got her stories out of any book at all. But that they came right out of her own life. And the dark-faced child is quiet of a summer night, listening to Aunt Sue's stories.
Representing South Carolina, Oona Borovicka. A sophomore studying at the Fine Arts Center in Greenville, South Carolina, Oona enjoys poetry, performance, and the way audiences connect with the same words in different ways. Oona has been performing since she was 4 years old and is really passionate about acting and theater. Oona Borovicka.
Elegy Before Death by Edna St. Vincent Millay. There will be rose and rhododendron when you are dead, and underground still will be heard from white syringas, heavy with bees, say, sunny sound. Still will the tamaracks be raining after the rain has ceased. And still will there be robins in the stubble, brown sheep upon the warm green hill. Spring will not ail, nor autumn falter. Nothing will know that you are gone, saving alone some sullen plowland none but yourself sets foot upon. Saving the mayweed and the pigweed, nothing will know that you are dead. These, and perhaps some useless wagon, standing beside some tumbled shed. Oh, there will pass with your great passing little of beauty, not your own. Only the light from common water. Only the grace from simple stone.
Representing Indiana, Jayda Dawn. Jayda is a junior at University High School of Indiana in Carmel. Jayda is passionate about performing theater, choir, and poetry. The Heaven and Earth Grocery Store by James McBride is Jada's favorite book. Jayda Dawn.
The Weary Blues by Langston Hughes. Droning a drowsy, syncopated tune, rocking back and forth to a mellow croon, I heard a Negro play. Down on Lenox Avenue the other night, by the pale dull pallor of an old gas light, he did a lazy sway. He did a lazy sway to the tune of those weary blues, with his ebony hands on each ivory key. He made that poor piano moan with melody. Oh, blues. Swaying to and fro on his rickety stool, he played that sad, raggy tune like a musical fool. Sweet blues, coming from a black man's soul. Oh, blues. In a deep song voice with a melancholy tone, I heard that Negro sing that old piano moan. Ain't got nobody in all this world, ain't got nobody but myself. I was gonna quit my frowning and put my troubles on the shelf. Thump, 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 went his foot on the floor. He played a few chords, then he sang some more. I got the weary blues, and I can't be satisfied. Got the weary blues and can't be satisfied. I ain't happy no more, and I wish that I had died. And far into the night he crooned that tune. The stars went out and so did the moon. The singer stopped playing and went to bed while the weary blues echoed through his head. He slept like a rock, or a man that's dead.
Representing South Dakota, Damien Andre Deen. Damien is a senior at Washington High School in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Damien has always been very interested in films and TV shows and would someday like to make something as memorable as the films he grew up watching. He has 2 older sisters and just recently became an uncle. Damien Andre Deen.
Mother to Son by Langston Hughes. Well, son, I'll tell you, life for me. Ain't been no crystal stair. It's had tacks in it, and splinters, and boards torn up, and places with no carpet on the floor. Bare. But all the time, I's been a-climbing on, and reaching landings, and turning corners, and sometimes going in the dark, where there ain't been no light. So boy, don't you turn back. Don't you sit down on the steps, 'cause you find it's kinda hard. Don't you fall now, for I's still going, honey. I's still climbing. And life, for me, ain't been no crystal stair.
Representing U.S. Virgin Islands, Joeltica Rogers. A junior at Charlotte Amalia High School in St. Thomas, U.S. Virgin Islands, Joeltica loves reading and exploring literature from a variety of authors. School and community activities have inspired Joeltica's interests in performance and public speaking. Joeltica Rogers.
The Coming Woman by Mary Weston Fordham. Just look, 'tis 6:15, love, and not even the fires are caught. Well, you know, I must be at the office, but as usual, the breakfast will be late. Now hurry and wake up the children and dress them as fast as you can. Poor dearies, I know they'll be tardy. Dear me, what a slow-pokey man! Have the tenderloin broiled nice and juicy. Have the toast browned and buttered all right. And be sure you settle the coffee. Be sure that the silver is bright. When ready, just run up and call me. At 8 to the office I go, lest poverty, grim, should o'ertake us. 'Tis bread and butter, you know. The bottom from stocks may fall out. My bonds may get below par. Then surely I seldom could spare you a nickel to buy a cigar. All ready? Now, while I'm eating, just bring up my wheel to the door, then wash up the dishes, and mind now, have dinner promptly at 4. For tonight is our women's convention, and I am to speak first, you know. The men veto us in private, but in public, they shout, "That's so!" So bye-bye. In case of a rap, love, before opening the door, you must look. Oh, how could a civilized woman exist without a man cook?
Representing Alaska, Cassie Lumba. Cassie Lumba is a senior at Juneau Douglas High School, Yada'atkala, in Juneau, Alaska. Cassie cares deeply about community service and comes from a close-knit family with 4 siblings and 3 cats. Cassie Lumba.
Longings by Nellie Rathbone Bright. I want to slay all the things. Just things that they tell me I must do. I would drown them all in the tears I weep when each breathless day is through. I want to flee to a cool sand dune on a wind-swept beach where the humming tune of the wind and the waves and the heart of me drams in my ears, and my lips are wet with the tang of the sea. I want to feel the rain on my cheek, the thrill that comes from a lark's long note. I want to see the sky at dawn through the lacy green of a willow tree. I want to look deep in a pool at night and see the stars flash flame like the fire in black opals.
That concludes our first round. Weren't they outstanding? Yeah? It is now my pleasure to introduce the President and CEO of the National Assembly of State Arts Agencies, Pam Breaux.
Hello, everyone. I am excited to bring you warm greetings from the National Assembly of State Arts Agencies. We represent the 56 state and jurisdictional arts agencies that have helped over 4.6 million students participate in Poetry Out Loud. As we observe our country's 250th anniversary, I am reminded that poetry's power, like the power of all art, is uniquely positioned to help us consider our American drive to always become a more perfect union. Poetry holds up a mirror across our lives, helping us better understand our past and our present, and helping us imagine the future we can build together. Poetry's ability to speak deeply to the heart and mind can provide the inspiration to imagine and move toward what our next 250 years will be. A heartfelt thanks to students, teachers, and coaches who participated in the program this year. You shared the joy of poetry and the power of poetry with us this evening and during the past several weeks. Thanks to the National Endowment for the Arts for lifting up the power of poetry in the lives of students. Congratulations to all state and jurisdictional winners, and to all the national finalists, and of course, to this year's Poetry Out Loud champion. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Pam. And now we'll begin introducing our panel of National Finals judges. First up, let's introduce Elizabeth Acevedo. Elizabeth served as the 2022 Young People's Poet Laureate and is the New York Times best-selling author of The Poet X, which won the National Book Award for Young People's Literature. She is a National Poetry Slam champion and lives in Washington, D.C. Elizabeth answers a question from Sarah Williamson, the Tennessee State champion. Sarah asked if poetry was a type of weather, color, animal, food, or texture, what would it be? Then we'll meet Amanda Johnston. Amanda is a writer, visual artist, and the 61st Poet Laureate of Texas. She is a former board president of the Cave Canem Foundation and the founder of Torch Literary Arts. Amanda responds to Pennsylvania State champion Zariel Banton's question, how do you prioritize art when you're surrounded by the pressures and responsibilities of everyday life? Let's meet them now.
So I love this question, and I'm gonna go with, if poetry was a type of weather, I think that it would be a sandstorm, right? Because one, that requires like high velocity wind. And I think that poetry is all about like the ideas that circulate, right? You see the metaphor? But I also think that sandstorms are about picking up the smallest particles and like carrying them somewhere new. And the best poems, I think, are about small ideas that you're able to connect with folks who may have never known about that before. And so sandstorms, which can be dangerous, and I think good poems should be a little dangerous to the status quo, feels like the perfect metaphor.
I prioritize art in my daily life because it is part of my daily life. I write and read often. If I'm not writing my own work, I'm reading the work that others have written. If I'm not enjoying literature, I'm experiencing art in its multiple shapes and forms. I love going to museums, libraries, listening to music, watching movies, films. All of that is part of the art we get to enjoy every day. So it's never a labor, it's never a chore, it's a priority because it is just part of life.
Great. We'll be meeting more of our judges later on. And now we go into the second round. We will see each contestant recite another poem in the same order. We'll begin with, from Louisiana, Mallory Lott.
Poetry by Marianne Moore. I too dislike it. There are things that are important beyond all this fiddle. Reading it, however, with a perfect contempt for it, one discovers that there is in it, after all, a place for the genuine. Hands that can grasp, eyes that can dilate, hair that can rise, if it must. These things are important, not because a high-sounding interpretation can be put upon them, but because they are useful. When they become so derivative as to become unintelligible, the same thing may be said for all of us, that we do not admire what we cannot understand. The bat holding on upside down or in quest of something to eat. Elephants pushing. A wild horse taking a roll. A tireless wolf under a tree. The immovable critic twinkling his skin like a horse that feels a flea. The baseball fan. The statistician, case after case could be cited did one wish it, nor is it valid to discriminate against business documents and school books. All these phenomena are important. One must make a distinction, however, when dragged into prominence by half-poets. The result is not poetry, nor till the autocrats among us can be literalists of the imagination, above insolence and triviality, and can present for inspection imaginary gardens with real toads in them. Shall we have it? In the meantime, if you demand, on the one hand, in defiance of their opinion, the raw material of poetry in all its
rawness. And that which is on the other hand, genuine. Then you are interested in poetry.
Testing? Oh, there we are. Hi, Mallory. How are you?
I'm doing great.
If you had to describe this whole experience, Poetry Out Loud, using just 5 words, they don't have to be in a sentence, what would you say?
Nobody's gonna get this but my Louisiana folks, but it's a sign. Inside joke.
We love that. Shout out to your Louisiana folks.
Yes, shout out and the ones at home.
All right, here's a second question. What is one of your favorite things about your state?
There's so many things to like about Louisiana, but if I had to narrow it down to one, I would say the jazz music is incredible. It's just, I love jazz music, and the New Orleans is the hub for it, honestly. Yes. So yeah, that's that.
So wonderful. All right, thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Mallory Lott, everyone. From Illinois, Jaden Conley.
Chicago by Carl Sandburg. Hog butcher for the world. Tool maker. Stacker of wheat. Player with railroads and the nation's freight handler. Stormy. Husky. Brawling. City of the big shoulders. They tell me you are wicked, and I believe them, for I have seen your painted women under the gas lamps, lying the farm boys. And they tell me you are crooked, and I answer, yes, it is true. I have seen the gunmen kill and go free to kill again. And they tell me you are brutal. And my reply is, on the faces of women and children, I have seen the marks of wanton hunger. And having answered so, I turn once more to those who sneer at this my city, and I give them back the sneer and say to them, come and show me another city with lifted heads sinking so proud to be alive, and coarse, and strong, and cunning, flinging magnetic curses amid the toil of piling job on job. Here is a tall, bold slugger, set vivid against the little soft cities, fierce as a dog, with tongue lapping for action, cunning as a savage, pitted against the wilderness, bareheaded, shoveling, wrecking, planning, building, breaking, rebuilding, under the smoke, dust all over his mouth, laughing with white teeth, under the terrible burden of destiny, laughing as a young man laughs, laughing even as an ignorant fighter laughs who has never lost a battle, bragging and laughing that under his wrist is the pulse, and under his ribs, the heart of the people. Laughing the stormy, husky, brawling laughter of youth, half naked, sweating, proud to be hog butcher, tool maker, stacker of wheat, player with railroads and freight handler to the nation.
Jaden, I got a question for you. How do you go about memorizing your poems?
A lot of practicing in my room, even at Target, like I said, with my family, and just embodying the character instead of just memorizing it. I'd love to get familiar with them and become them.
That's so wonderful.
Thank you.
Can I give you another question?
Of course.
What's a random talent you have?
I can like whistle with my throat.
Really?
I can show you guys.
Can you give us a little example? Mariah Carey, watch out.
Yes, I'm her godson. Yes.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much.
Of course. Thank you for the question.
Jaden Conley, everyone. From New Mexico, Hadas Frish.
Why We Oppose Pockets for Women by Alice Duer Miller. 1. Because pockets are not a natural right. 2. Because the great majority of women do not want pockets. If they did, they would have them. 3. Because whenever women have had pockets, they have not used them. 4. Because women are required to carry enough things as it is without the additional burden of pockets. 5. Because it would make dissension between husband and wife as to whose pockets were to be filled. 6. Because it would destroy man's chivalry towards woman if he did not have to carry all her things in his pockets. 7. Because men are men and women are women, we must not fly in the face of nature. 8. Because pockets have been used by men to carry tobacco, pipes, whiskey flasks, chewing gum, and compromising letters. We see no reason to suppose that women would use them more wisely.
Hello, Hadas. How did you choose the poems you recited for this competition?
So when I first heard of poetry out loud, I had like a vision in my head, like immediately of me reciting the women's suffrage movement specifically, and like once I had that vision in my head, like I couldn't get it out, like I couldn't see myself reciting anything else. And when I was going through the poems that were available under the suffrage list, I was looking through them, and the only authors that really stood out to me were Catherine Wollston Fisher and Alice Duer Miller, and once I read their poems, I really fell in love with them, and I couldn't let them go.
That's so amazing. Very empowering.
Yeah.
Okay, what's your go-to comfort snack after the competition?
I think I'd have to say pizza or like any Italian food.
All right, I hope you get that tonight.
I will.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hadas Frish. From Rhode Island, Astrid Santos.
Saturday's Child by County Cullen. Some are teethed on a silver spoon with the stars strung for a rattle. I cut my teeth as the black raccoon for implements of battle. Some are swaddled in silk and down and heralded by a star. They swathed my limbs in a sackcloth gown on a night that was black as tar. For some, godfather and goddame, the opulent fairies be. Dame Poverty gave me my name, and pain godfathered me. For I was born on Saturday. Bad time for planting a seed was all my father had to say. And one mouth more to feed. Death cut the strings that gave me life and handed me to sorrow. The only kind of middle wife my folks could beg or borrow.
Hi, Astrid. What have you enjoyed most about the national finals in DC?
So what I have enjoyed most about the national finals is being able to be in a new city, in a new surrounding. I have been able to meet so many new people and so many talented people, like my fellow contestants and the people that make Poetry Out Loud happen. I am forever grateful for this opportunity because it has taught me and it has helped me reflect on how I should believe in myself and just go for it.
That is so beautiful. Thank you so much. All right, Astrid Santos. From South Carolina, Oona Borovicka.
Do you know by Alice Dewar Miller that in 1869, Miss Jex Blake and 4 other women entered for a medical degree at the University of Edinburgh? That the president of the College of Physicians refused to give the women the prizes they had won? That the undergraduates insulted any professor who allowed women to compete for prizes? That the women were stoned in the streets and finally excluded from the medical school? That in 1877, the British Medical Association declared women ineligible for membership? That in 1881, the International Medical Congress excluded women from all but its social and ceremonial meetings? That the Obstetrical Society refused to allow a women's name to appear on the title page of a pamphlet which she had written with her husband? That, according to a recent dispatch from London, many hospitals, since the outbreak of hostilities, have asked women to become resident physicians, and public authorities are daily endeavoring to obtain women as assistant medical officers and school doctors?
Join me over here, Oona. Did you discover anything surprising about a poem only after performing it out loud?
Yeah. The poem I just performed, actually, Do You Know by Alice Stewart Miller. When I first performed it at States, I approached it with a very heavy feel because of the content of the poem. I thought that it was a heavy piece talking about all the struggle that women went through in medical field. After performing it in front of an audience and observing some of their reactions, I realized that it's kind of a humorous take, kind of stating, well, isn't that ironic?
That's a wonderful answer. All right, thank you so much, Oona.
Thank you.
From Indiana, Jayda Dawn.
Why We Oppose Pockets for Women by Alice Stewart Miller. 1. Because pockets are not a natural right. 2. Because the great majority of women do not want pockets. If they did, they would have them. 3. Because whenever women have had pockets, they have not used them. 4. Because women are required to carry enough things as it is, without the additional burden of pockets. 5. Because it would make dissension between husband and wife as to whose pockets were to be filled. 6. Because it would destroy man's chivalry toward woman if he did not have to carry all her things in his pockets. 7. Because men are men and women are women. We must not fly in the face of nature. 8. Because pockets have been used by men to carry tobacco, pipes, whiskey flasks, chewing gum, and compromising letters. We see no reason to suppose that women would use them more wisely.
Hey, Jayda. How do you see poetry being a part of your life in the future?
Well, I would hope that poetry would be a part of my life forever. I think that it's one of the most easily discarded and overlooked forms of art, and I think that's what makes it so especially special and unique and so sacred to the people who do choose to make a career out of poetry. I mean, just looking around at the people here who work for POL and who work for NEA, like I can tell that these people like actually love their jobs and what they do. And so I think that no matter what my career may be, I mean, like construction worker, president, I think that I'll definitely still be found somewhere at a poetry lounge, reciting something, maybe singing, but definitely poetry will be a part of me forever.
Wonderful. Jayda Dawn, everyone. Thank you. From South Dakota, Damien Deen.
The New Day by Fenton Johnson. From a vision red with war, I awoke and saw the Prince of Peace hovering over no man's land. Loud the whistles blew, and the thunder of cannon was drowned by the happy shouting of the people. From the Sinai that faces Armageddon, I heard this chant from the throats of white-robed angels. Blow your trumpets, little children, from the east and from the west, from the cities and the valley, from God's dwelling on the mountain. Blow your blast, that peace might know. She is queen of God's great army. With the cry and blood of millions, we have written deep her name in the book of all the ages. With the lilies in the valley, with the roses by the Mersey, with the golden flower of Jersey, we have crowned her smooth young temples. Where her footsteps cease to falter, golden grain will greet the morning. Where her chariot descends shall be broken down the altars of the gods of dark disturbance. Nevermore shall men know suffering. Nevermore shall women wailing shake to greet the God of heaven. From the east and from the west, from the cities and the valley, from gods dwelling on the mountain, little children, blow your trumpets. From Ethiopia, groaning neath her heavy burdens, I heard the music of the old slave songs. I heard the wail of warriors, dusk brown, who grimly fought the fight of others in the trenches of Mars. I heard the plea of blood-stained men of dusk, and the crimson in my veins leapt furiously. Forget not, oh my brothers, how we fought in no man's land that peace might come again. Forget not, oh my brothers, how we gave red blood to save the freedom of the world. We were not free. Our tawny hands were tied. But Belgium's plight and Serbia's woes, we shared each rise of sun or setting of the moon. So when the bugle blast had called us forth, we went not like the surly brute of yore, but as the Spartan, proud to give the world the freedom that we never knew nor shared. These chains, oh, brothers mine, have weighed us down as Samson in the temple of the gods. Unloosen them and let us breathe the air that makes the golden rod the flower of Christ. For we have been with thee in no man's land through lake of fire and down to hell itself. And now we ask of thee our liberty, our freedom in the land of stars and stripes. I am glad that the Prince of Peace is hovering over no man's land.
Hi, Damien. Do you have any advice for future Poetry Out Loud participants?
I would say that I think people need to take their time with researching their poems, because I think it gives you just a better understanding of what you're supposed to be doing and how you can honor the author's intent while also putting your own little jazz or twist on it.
Wonderful. And what's your most used emoji?
My most used emoji is a monkey covering eyes emoji.
Aww.
Yeah,
so cute.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Damien Andre Deen. From U.S. Virgin Islands, Joeltica Rogers.
Why We Oppose Pockets for Women by Alice Duer Miller. 1, because pockets are not a natural right. 2, because the great majority of women do not want pockets. If they did, they would have them. 3, because whenever women have had pockets, they have not used them. 4, because women are required to carry enough things as it is without the additional burden of pockets. 5, because it would make dissension between husband and wife as to whose pockets were to be filled. 6, because it would destroy man's chivalry toward women if he did not have to carry all her things in his pockets. 7, because men are men and women are women. We must not fly in the face of nature. 8, because pockets have been used by men to carry tobacco, pipes, whiskey flasks, chewing gum, and compromising letters. We see no reason to suppose that women would use them more wisely.
Hi, Joeltica.
Hi.
What has competing at this level taught you that you didn't expect?
I think that competing at this level has taught me a lot about myself. It has taught me that I am capable, I'm well able to be on this stage and perform in front of you. It has also taught me that the coolest people love poetry.
Wonderful. Who or what has been your biggest source of support in getting here?
My biggest source of support is in the crowd. My coach, Miss Wendy Bugunu Andrews, she has been my rock. When I was doubtful or scared, she was the one who hyped me up and put me on this stage, and I am forever grateful. I'm also grateful for my parents, my mother, my father, and my siblings who have helped me reach this far. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Joeltica. From Alaska, Cassie Lumba.
Poetry by Marianne Moore. I, too, dislike it. There are things that are important beyond all this fiddle. Reading it, however, with a perfect contempt for it, one discovers that there is in it, after all, a place for the genuine. Hands that can grasp, eyes that can dilate, hair that can rise if it must. These things are important not because a high-sounding interpretation can be put upon them, but because they are useful. When they become so derivative as to become unintelligible, the same thing may be said for all of us. That we do not admire what we cannot understand. The bat, holding on upside down or in quest of something to eat. Elephants pushing, a wild horse taking a roll, a tireless wolf under a tree. The immovable critic twinkling his skin like a horse that feels a flea. The baseball fan, the statistician. Case after case could be cited, did one wish it. Nor is it valid to discriminate against business documents and school books. All these phenomena are important. One must make a distinction, however. When dragged into prominence by half poets, the result is not poetry. Nor till the autocrats among us can be literalists of the imagination, above insolence and triviality, and can present for inspection imaginary gardens with real toads in them. Shall we have it? In the meantime, if you demand on the one hand, in defiance of their opinion, the raw material of poetry in all its rawness, and that which is on the other hand, genuine, then you are interested in poetry.
Hi, Cassie. How do you connect with a poet who lived more than 100 years ago?
Wow. I think that the emotions that are expressed by poets from centuries ago, I think everyone in this room can find a poem and a poet that they resonate with. I think that poetry and the way that the words come off the page, these emotions withstand the test of time. And I think every emotion has withstood the test of time. And I feel as though poetry and those emotions are almost like the wormhole at which we can connect. And so I think through that, I definitely am able to connect with something that was written so long ago.
Thank you so much. Cassie Lumba. Thank you. Thank you all for those wonderful recitations. Now let's meet two more of our judges. Next, we have John Parrish, PD. John is president of Ashland University and previously served as chairman of the National Endowment for the Humanities, where he oversaw the award and federal grants supporting education, libraries, museums, and humanities scholarship nationwide. John will respond to a question from Iowa State champion Emma Olson. Emma asks, what inspired you to get involved in the arts? Then we'll see Allison Pellegrin. Allison served as the Louisiana Poet Laureate from 2023 to 2025 and is the recipient of numerous awards, including a Creative Writing Fellowship from the National Endowment for the Arts. Allison will answer a question from Riley Grace Sainem, Wisconsin State champion. Riley asked, how was your definition of a successful piece of work changed throughout your career? Let's meet those judges now.
Great question. I think the arts were always in me, and certainly creativity was, and I frankly feel that way about all of us. So as a young child, I loved to draw, and I'm sure that my mother read books to me, though I don't necessarily remember it. And then when I went to school, a third grade teacher that saw something in me, saw something special about the way I related to music and color and drawing. And I always loved language. I loved how words came up against each other. That was the experience, particularly, I think, for me in the American South. And now I find myself some 50 years later than that classroom as a university president. And I look at, spreadsheets all the time and think about business, but the arts help me see through it, help me see patterns, help me stay inspired and on the best way, try to inspire others. So the arts are really about a path in life, and it's about keeping inside us that kernel of creativity regardless of our careers.
When I first started writing poetry, I was in a workshop model, and I was really concerned about who was going to say what about the poem that I put on the worksheet. And I felt that the changes I made to a poem weren't coming from myself, they were coming from external reasons. And now that I'm older, now that I've reached a certain age, one of the great things about that is that I don't care so much. I'm looking for how a poem makes me feel when I read it. I'm looking for how it sounds, of course, because of the sound devices inside of the poem itself, but I'm also thinking about voice and what in the poem do I recognize as my poet's voice? I want to see that, and when I hit that, I feel like I've gotten to some sort of an essential truth. Also, I want to share that in the past few years, I've had the privilege of teaching poetry workshops inside of prisons. And I love doing that for many reasons. The main one being is that it takes me back in a group to that essential thing that poetry was for me at the start. Not so much that I finish and print out in a notebook and share, but the act of reaching for that, of doing for that. That to me is the most important element of poetry. And I love to be in search of that as I do my work now.
Thanks, John and Allison. Before we announce the top 3 contestants, I would like to remind you all about the prizes being awarded tonight. The representing schools and organizations of each of these 9 finalists will receive $500 for the purchase of poetry materials, and the students themselves will receive an award of at least $1,000 each. With that being said, I would now like to invite the 9 finalists back on stage. In recognition of their achievement in making it to the national finals of Poetry Out Loud, each student will receive a national finalist medal. Joining us on stage for the presentation is Katie Day from the National Endowment for the Arts. From Alaska, Cassie Lumba. From Illinois, Jaden Conley. From Indiana, Jayda Dawn. From Louisiana, Mallory Lott. From New Mexico, Hadas Frish. From Rhode Island, Astrid Santos. From South Carolina, Oona Borovicka. From South Dakota, Damien Deen. From U.S. Virgin Islands, Joeltica Rogers. Let's have another round of applause for our national finalists. I now have the names of our top 3 finalists. Remember that students were scored on 6 categories: physical presence, voice and articulation, interpretation, evidence of understanding, overall performance, and accuracy. Overall performance and accuracy are worth more than the other categories. Here they are in no particular order. Please step forward when your name is announced. From Indiana, Jayda Dawn. From South Dakota, Damien Andre Deen. From Illinois, Jaden Conley. Congratulations to our top 3. Will all the students please exit the stage? While they are taking a few moments to prepare for their final recitation, let's meet our final judge. Brian Turner is the author of 5 collections of poetry and a memoir. He was featured in the documentary Operation Homecoming: Writing the Wartime Experience, which was nominated for an Academy Award. His many honors include fellowships from the National Endowment for the Arts, the Guggenheim Foundation, and the Lennon Foundation. Brian answers the question, what brings you the most joy about creating art and why? From Liam McLaughlin, Arizona State champion. Let's meet Brian.
I think among many things I value about it, one of them is that when I'm lucky, late at night, I'll find myself over a blank page and it feels like the world sloughs away and language arrives from some surprising place and moves through me. And it's a real gift that I get to be there and get to be a part of that moment when new language arrives in the world that I can learn from. That's one of the reasons why I turn to other people's poems too, because their language arrives as a surprise to me. And then from the architecture of that language, I'm able to house and recreate a version of that initial vision. It's a conversation between people.
Thank you to all of our outstanding judges, both at tonight's competition and yesterday's semifinals. Yesterday's judges for the semifinals included Sandra Beasley, Kim James Bay, LJ Bowens, Dan Brady, Lawrence Min Boy Davis, Terry Ellen Cross Davis, James Allen Hall, Anna LaPera, Ricardo Alberto Maldonado, Dennis Nangle, Jordan Perez, and Seema Reza. As you can imagine, picking the best recitations is not an easy task. Thanks also to our sign language interpreters for this evening, Mia Engel and Steve Fahn. I also want to take a moment to give a shout out to DJ Stylus, who has added a lot of energy and momentum tonight. Thanks, DJ Stylus.
DJ, that's my DJ.
A special thanks to the teachers and poetry mentors who have shepherded our state champions through Poetry Out Loud. Many are here in DC with the state champions, and we also welcome those watching via webcast from home. And a final thanks to all of the family and friends of the students here with us tonight. Your support and enthusiasm have made this a truly wonderful experience for everyone. I think our 3 finalists should be ready now. They'll each be coming back to recite one more poem. And to start us off, oh hi, Indiana, Jayda Dawn. Oh, Illinois, sorry. From Illinois, Jaden Conley.
Enigma by Leonora Spire. It would be easy to forgive. If I could, but remember, if I could hear, lost love of mine, the music of your cruelties, shaking to sound the silent skies, could voice with them their song divine, red with pain's leaping ember. It would be easy to forgive if I could, but remember, it would be easy to forget if I could find lost sorrow. If I could kiss her plaintive face and break with her her bitter bread, could share again her woeful bed, and know with tears her pale embrace make yesterday tomorrow. It would be easy to forget if I could find lost sorrow.
All right, Jayda Dawn.
From The Southland's Charms and Freedom's Magnitude 11 by Albury Alson Whitman. 11. The stars and stripes that in our standard fly, immortal symbols of the nation's might, the splendor of night's orb emblazoned sky, the blue of day's eternal depths, the white of heaven's peace and spotless purity, and red of morn's defiant streaming light, meant nothing, which that madcap state would heed, which vowed to spread vile slavery or secede.
South Dakota, Damien Andre Deen.
Ships That Pass in the Night by Paul Laurence Dunbar. Out in the sky, the great dark clouds are massing. I look far out into the pregnant night, where I can hear a solemn booming gun and catch the gleaming of a random light that tells me that the ship I seek is passing. My tearful eyes, my soul's deep hurt are glassing, for I would hail and check that ship of ships. I stretch my hands, imploring, cry aloud. My voice falls dead a foot from mine own lips, and but its ghost doth reach that vessel, passing. Oh, earth, oh, sky, oh, ocean, both surpassing. Oh, heart of mine, oh, soul that dreads the dark. Is there no hope for me? Is there no way that I may sight and check that speeding bark which out of sight and sound is passing? Passing.
As we're waiting for the final results, we will witness one of the most exciting dance forms in the 21st century. It is called stepping. Stepping is a percussive dance genre cultivated by African American fraternities and sororities and celebrated by thousands upon thousands. Since its inception in 1994, founded by 2022 National Heritage Fellow C. Brian Williams, Step Africa's mission has been to preserve, expand, and share the history of this highly energetic dance. Its members accomplish this through performance in theaters and communities, along with award-winning arts education programs for more than 50,000 people annually. Step Africa has performed on thousands of stages, from Maine to Madagascar, London to Ho Chi Minh City, Amsterdam to Atlanta, and now here tonight in Washington, D.C. at the 2026 Poetry Out Loud National Finals. A quick reminder, no video or flash photography. Everyone, Step Africa.
Brothers and sisters, yes! Brothers and sisters, yes! Brothers and sisters, yes! Africa, stand!
Yeah. Poetry Out Loud, how you all feeling this evening? I know you all have a little more energy. I said, how you all feeling this evening? There we go. Now we're Step Africa, and we want to play a real easy game with you all. So listen close. When I say okay, you say all right. When I say all right, you say okay. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Okay, all right. All right, okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, there you. All right. Y'all sound good. Okay. All right.
Everywhere we go, every time we do a show, all the people want to know how we make them say. It's not hard or a magical trick, it's just some simple beats that go like this. 4 claps. Clap with us. Hold it down. This side. I want to hear you on the 1, 2, 3. Come on. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, like that, in the middle. Are you ready? You got 5, 6, 7. Watch this. Try it. One more time. It's your turn. No? It's okay. Just clap. Hey. Just clap. Woo! Just clap. Hey. Just clap. Come on. Hey. Now bring it down low. Bring it down low. Hey. Bring it down low. Hey. Bring it down low. Hey. So what we came to do, y'all? What we gonna do, y'all? I said what we came to do, y'all. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, get high.
Wait, what? Bring the beat back. Come on. All right, let's go inside. Let me go. All right, y'all. Hey, come on.
Everybody say Africa step. Africa step. Say Africa step. Africa step. Say Africa step. Africa. Here we go. Let's do that.
What's up, Manny?
Hey, Rob.
Come on. Can't have you doing one out here. Cut. Let's get down. Come on. Woo! Woo! What's up, Jeter? Woo! Let's get down. All right, y'all. Woo! Hey, mama. What's up, y'all? Woo! Let's have some fun. Come on. All right. Come on. Hey. All right. What? Come on. Hey, come on. Woo! You got it. Woo! All right. All right, say. Talk to me, y'all. Woo! All right. All right. Let's go. Got to what? Say, hold up. Wait a minute. Hey. Come on. All right, let's say. Woo! Come on. Pick it up. Pick it up. Pick it up. Let's go. All right now. Get up. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, we y'all. Woo! Woo! We go up, down. Hey. Hey, 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 hey.
Thank you all. Poetry Out Loud. Let's give a round of applause to all the participants, performers, and poets this weekend, or tonight, this evening. Now, we are Step Africa, based right here in Washington, D.C. Before we continue and leave you all, we would love to introduce ourselves. I'll begin. My name is Manny Chacon, and I'm from Wilmington, Delaware.
Good evening, everyone. I am Keandre Pascal from Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Hello, my name is Gerard Coleman from Columbus, Georgia.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jemima Montrose, and I'm from Brooklyn, New York.
Hello, everyone. My name is Robert Warnsley, and I'm from Chicago, Illinois.
Greetings to all. My name is Jayda Barrington, and I am from Glenarden, Maryland.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Kamala Hargrove, and I'm from the Bronx, New York.
Hello, my name is Trayshawn Williams, and I'm from Davenport, Iowa.
Hello, my name is Kwejo Bediako from Queens, New York.
All right, you all, it's been an amazing evening. We appreciate all your support. Again, we are Step Africa, based right here in Washington, D.C. Now, Step Africa loves to have fun, and we love to party. So before we go, we're going to play one more game with you all. So I need all your energy, and I need you all to clap your hands. Now, we played this game a little earlier, so let's see if you remember it. Here we go, here we go. Okay. All right. Okay, okay. All right, all right. Okay, all right. All right, okay. Oh, 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 okay. Y'all sound good. Oh, 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 all right. Yeah, okay. Essay, break it down.
It's been a wonderful evening celebrating poetry with you all. Haven't tonight's performances been fantastic? And now, it is my immense pleasure to announce the results of Poetry Out Loud 2026. Drumroll, please. In third place, winning an award of $5,000, Jaden Conley from Illinois. Woo! In second place, winning an award of $10,000, Damien Andre Deen, South Dakota. And the 2026 National Champion of Poetry Out Loud, winner of a $20,000 award, Jayda Dawn, Indiana. Congratulations to our new national champion and all of the fine competitors we've seen tonight. I had a wonderful time with you this evening. I invite you to learn more about the Poetry Out Loud program and how you can get involved online at poetryoutloud.org. I'd now like to welcome our judges and the State Arts Agency representatives of our 9 finalists to join us on stage for photos. And to the rest of you here and watching online, thank you all and good night.